Hello. If you let someone's attempts to hurt you actually hurt you, they've won. You may think that fighting back is what establishes you as the most powerful one, but you're only fighting back because you're trying to defend yourself, right? And you would only try to defend yourself if you felt like you were in danger. Showing to the other person that you feel like you're in danger only signifies to them that they have successfully hurt you, and they will keep going because they've spotted that weakness in you. As soon as you act offended, you have just handed over your power to them, because now they know where to hit you where it hurts. You know, they know that they've said something mean. They are trying to hurt you. They know they are in the wrong. They would be happy to see that they have just triggered you. To win any verbal battle, be calm and unbothered. In this state of mind, your opponent will never win. When you refuse to join the fight and you refuse to enable the argument, you have just shown to them that you don't care at all about the insults that they are throwing at you, because you are impenetrable. You cannot be hurt, and that is true strength. Chuckle at their ignorance and march away with pride, because you know better than to let yourself get involved in stupid drama. You have much better ways to spend your time. If you're always trying to prove someone wrong by arguing with them, this often proves that they are probably right about the hurtful thing that they said to you, because you're demonstrating to them that you are insecure. You wouldn't be insecure if you truly knew that they were wrong. For example, like, say someone is making fun of you because, I don't know, they're trying to convince you that your hair looks stupid. If you knew truly that your hair looked fine and there was nothing wrong with it, you wouldn't feel the need to so desperately argue your point across, because you would be able to see crystal clearly that the other person is only trying to stir shit. Their criticisms are completely based on nothing. They're completely baseless comments, only designed to trigger you and bring you out of your spiritual groundedness. They're trying to destabilize you. All they want to do is know that they have destabilized you and that they have disturbed your inner peace. And when they know that they've done that, they will leave. They'll be like, okay, job done. I've hurt this person. I've disturbed them. I've frustrated them. I've made them feel extremely negative. I've possibly even ruined their day. Well done me. I've accomplished something. These are the types of people who will get absolutely infuriated when they know that they cannot hurt you. If you absolutely refuse to let their comments get to you, when you absolutely refuse to fight back, even if they have hurt you, even if you do feel quite insecure about something they're commenting on, it doesn't matter, because as soon as you show to them that they've hurt you, they're not going to feel any remorse for it. They're going to know that they've won, they've achieved exactly what they were trying to achieve, and then you've lost. We don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. If we have a clean and stable vision of ourselves, then we can see that someone's mean comments about us are based on nothing, and there is zero point in conversing with them. If someone is trying to hurt you by saying hurtful things, it's because they want a reaction from you. They want you to react in a negative way, and you would only give them that reaction if their words worked on you, if their negative spell on you actually had any effect. That's the only time you'd give them a reaction. And the last thing you want to do is admit to your opponent they've wounded you, because then they're going to get the feeling that they're winning in this battle, and that gives them more confidence to just keep going and going and going and hitting and hitting and hitting until you're completely depleted of energy. You might even be thinking about this conflict for like the rest of the week, maybe even the rest of your life, if you are willing to hold on to a grudge like that, you know? Getting offended over something is just such a key way to start holding grudges against people. And if you start holding grudges against people, you are going to be spiritually and energetically weighed down. You're not allowing yourself to be energetically free. People are always going to villainize you. There will always be people who hate you, despise you, or even just dislike you a bit. People can still act in a slightly toxic way, even if they're not toxic themselves to the core. Even if their souls aren't toxic, they themselves can be slightly toxic and behave in a slightly toxic way. So you can always be faced with people who are trying to drag you down and maybe even trying to manipulate you slightly, because they're not spiritually awakened, you know? They're not on a kind of self-discovery journey like you. You are an earth angel. You cannot let like people with toxic antics, with toxic intentions distract you from your spiritual path and allowing you to evolve into the most spiritual, healthy being that you are destined to be. You are allowed to let go of these grudges that weigh you down, and you're allowed to decide you're just going to forget. That person tried to hurt you, that person was rude to you, they wanted a reaction from you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't freaking matter. They don't matter. There is so much more in your life to focus on. This thing that's trying to distract you from all the good things in your life doesn't want you to focus on the good things in your life. It wants you to focus on that one negative thing that happened to you that day. The brain is kind of designed to focus on negative things over positive things. So even if you've had the best day, it could very well forget the entire day and just focus on that one conflict you had with a person, whether it's online or in person or whatever, so that you highlight that day, you write off that day as being a negative day. This negative energy that jumps from person to person wants you to hate your life. This energy wants you to think of life as a drag, wants you to think of life as tough and laborious, and wants to do everything it can to convince you that people are out to get you. It wants to fill you with anxiety and cause you to feel nothing but, dread and bitterness. Even if somebody is desperately trying to trigger you, you don't need to fight back and try and trigger them back, because it's still the same energy. In fact, that's what that energy wants from you. It wants you to react, because as soon as you react, you've just done something negative, and you've just completely weighed down your soul with all this negativity. It is becoming very easy to get offended these days, and as controversial as it may be to say, I think people are forgetting the power of just being completely calm and unbothered and just being peaceful, and I really don't like to see that people are becoming encouraged to get offended over the slightest things, because I think people think that getting offended is what gives you power, when that's really not the case. It's really being able to see anything, training yourself to be able to see anything on the internet, no matter how triggering it is, to be able to see anything, watch anything, talk to anyone, be faced with any kind of situation, no matter how triggering or traumatic it might be, and be able to walk away and say, oh, that was supposed to weigh me down? That was supposed to ruin my day, ruin my life? Sorry, but I'm unbothered. I've got better things to focus my time on. You don't have to be affected by everything. And there are some people in this world who want you to get affected by arguments and drama and stuff. Not even the people who are involved in the drama. Say you and a friend start fighting. You might have other friends who want the fight to keep going and keep happening. These friends are getting entertained by watching this drama play out, and so they might be encouraging it to keep happening. They're encouraging you to get offended and to stay angry. They want you to stay angry because anger is such an obvious emotion. It's very visible. You can really see it on someone's face, whether they're going red or you can see wrinkles in their eyes and their forehead. You can see them tense up. You might even see veins in their arms because they're really tensing up. Or you can just really feel that energy just shift, right? Just shift down. It's such an obvious shift in energy that I think a lot of people seem to mistake that for being the most powerful energy you could be in when somebody's trying to trigger you. It's an emotion that really comes up when you're being extremely defensive, right? And it's the one that comes up when you feel like you really have to fight back. But if you fight back and you drag out this drama with this other person who's trying to trigger you, all you're doing is involving yourself in their life even more than you needed to before. Everyone's connected, right? Energetically, everyone's connected to each other, and that cord, that energetic cord you have with that person will only become stronger the more you interact with them, especially if you're interacting with them with really powerful energies like anger, grief. When you're faced with someone who's this toxic, who's trying to trigger you and trying to get a reaction from you, really all you should want to do is to get away from them, to absolutely cut them from your life by just walking away and saying, you know what, you can't affect me. I'm so grounded in my body. I am so sure of myself. I'm so confident in myself that nothing you can say will affect me and drag me down. And that's how you cut them from your life. But if you're not that grounded in yourself, of course you're going to feel like you're getting triggered because they've picked up on something that you're insecure on, right? And if you let it be known that you're insecure, you're going to feel like you have to fight back. And it's when you fight back that this energetic cord with this person becomes stronger and stronger. And it's almost like you're trying to keep them in your life, even though that may not be your conscious intention. That's energetically what's happening, you know? And that's what leads to you holding grudges, holding resentment, and becoming a really bitter person, and just not really having any respect for your time or for your life, you know? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, my camera just cut out. We're just gonna carry on. So it's impossible to control like what others do or say, but you can control your own reactions and responses to them. Like you don't need to let somebody else's comments that are completely unintended to hurt you, because then it's almost like you're pulling the sword like out of their belt and then just stabbing it into yourself, you know what I mean? Just because they're carrying a sword doesn't mean they were going to use it against you. It's almost like, you know, you're choosing to get offended. I think it's really possible to choose whether you're going to get offended over someone's words. You don't have to treat everybody's harsh words as if they're bullets. You can dodge out of the way. You don't need to step into the line of the bullet and let yourself get shot just to prove that you are the victim in that situation. You know, you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need to prove that you were the victim in order to like receive sympathy or something from them. So like instead of taking everything personally, you can view criticism and disagreements as opportunities for growth and learning. You can learn so much about yourself when you realize you're getting triggered by something. It may even be you didn't even realize that you were insecure about this thing that this person is either mocking you for. If you're having an argument and you're getting really, really riled up, like more riled up than you ever thought you could be, it's showing to you that you have some kind of unhealed wound that needs addressing. You're not just being the victim in this situation where somebody is, you know, coming at you with a knife, trying their best to take you down. You don't have to let yourself get stabbed and mauled and absolutely beaten up over and over and over. Can decide, okay, I'm going to step aside, I'm not going to take part in this, I'm not going to show this person they've hurt me, I'm just going to be unbothered for the end of the day, and when I get home and I'm in my own company, I can assess what happened in that argument, I can assess what was going on with my emotions and try and figure out like what kind of unhealed business I have with myself. Cultivate a positive attitude. You don't need to throw back like sarcastic retorts at this person just to show to them that like you are tough as well. You don't need to show to anyone that you are tough. You don't need to show to anyone that you have weapons as well. It doesn't really prove anything. No matter what they say and no matter what they do, they're not going to be able to hurt you because you're stronger than that. You are much more resilient than letting somebody else unnecessarily hurt you because you're very protective of your own energy. If you understand your own beliefs and your own triggers and your own values, this can help you better manage your emotions and your reactions when you're faced with situations that challenge your values and challenge your triggers. And getting to an argument where you're getting really triggered isn't such a bad thing, because it's very important to see how tough-skinned you actually are. And if you realize that you're very much not tough-skinned, you get very irritated by everything, you're getting very triggered by someone ordering you around, someone telling you what to do, somebody being sarcastic with you, if that really triggers you, that shows you that you do not have tough skin at all, and you need to do something to like face those kinds of triggers. Being triggered isn't such a bad thing. I think it's been given like a really bad name. You don't have to treat being triggered as if it's like the be all and end all of your happiness. You know, it's really not the end of the world. There are so many worse things going on than just you getting triggered by someone who is rude to you, you know? The ultimate power is just showing to them that you are not bothered by what they're saying. That's the ultimate message of this video. As soon as you show to them that you are triggered, you have lost the battle. Being able to manage your emotions and not take things personally can demonstrate emotional intelligence and maturity to those around you, which can be an attractive quality in personal and professional relationships, not just with others but with yourself. You're much more likely to like yourself if you know that you're not so easily affected by those around you. You won't necessarily get so socially anxious if you know that you're able to emotionally protect yourself and you're not so quick to jab at the other person really quickly in a moment of like mad raging defense. Like, by avoiding offense, you can become so much more open-minded and receptive to feedback and criticism, which can help you grow both personally and professionally. Deciding that you're going to protect your own energy and you're going to put yourself first. You're not going to put the argument first. You're not going to put the importance of winning first over the importance of valuing your own energy. So there is a lot more that I think I could say on this topic. I could ramble about it for hours, to be honest, but I'm going to leave it here for now. Yeah, I really hope this video was helpful and gave you some insight. Actually, yeah, I do just want to say, like, I am so grateful that I've been able to make this YouTube channel, honestly. The fact that I have access to technology and the means of making YouTube videos and being able to share my thoughts with you guys and be able to help like at least one of you or two of you out there who may be watching these videos, it really means the world to me, genuinely. I just love the creativity of editing videos and making thumbnails, even if the thumbnails are kind of basic. Like, I still really enjoy it. I really enjoy writing scripts and filming these videos. The journey's been short so far, but I hope it will be a really long and successful one. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great month, life, eternity, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Good evening.